Are your hospital-owned medical practices losing money? These days, most are. While many administrators cling to the belief that the downstream revenue generated by the patient referrals from these practices justifies the losses, a closer look at the numbers provides a more sobering perspective. The truth is, losses deplete millions of dollars of precious capital, interfering with the hospital's capacity to reinvest in vital initiatives. Here's what we're talking about. Using the most recent numbers from MGMA and other sources, let's look at a typical scenario. According to these statistics, the average physician generates about $1.5 million of revenue per year by way of referrals for the hospital with which they are affiliated. That means a group of 100 physicians could produce $150 million of revenue for the affiliated hospital. Sounds great, right? But if, according to these same statistics, that group is losing an average of $225,000 per physician each year in their hospital-owned practice, then that network will incur losses in the range of $22 million. Now, this might not seem so bad in comparison to the $150 million that's coming in, but there's a dark little secret that seldom gets explored thoroughly. Are you ready for this? Considering a net operating margin of 6%, typical for many hospitals, the $150 million of downstream revenue yields a mere $9 million of capital. This means that the $22 million loss from the physician network not only negates its $9 million capital contribution, but also dips into the hospital's financial reserves by another $13 million. Suddenly, the worthwhile trade-off, where the physician group's losses are worth it because of the downstream revenue, doesn't sound so worth it after all. Fact is, with declining reimbursement, increased costs, more regulation, and unprecedented patient demand, hospitals can no longer afford to ignore the impact of a money-losing asset. And besides, imagine what that $22 million might yield if you could reinvest those dollars into better care for your patients by enhancing technology, or recruiting difficult-to-find specialists, or expanding the geographic footprint of your hospital. Those millions of dollars could be a huge win for your hospital and your community. So how can you drive performance improvement in your owned medical practices? What does it take to get physicians, staff, and administrators motivated to achieve the same goals? To help you answer these questions, here's a complimentary white paper providing crucial insights that dozens of hospitals and health systems are already using to maximize the benefits of their owned physician practices while diminishing the losses. After reading From Mediocre to Market Leader, you will have an increased awareness of the often overlooked reasons for network deficits and a knowledge of how to move forward in diagnosing and treating the issues specific to your organization. In short, you'll clearly see the pathway to revitalizing your own physician practices and dominating your market. Please proceed to fill out the form and get started.